Hey, good morning, YouTube. This is Jim again with Dad's Garage. Hey, today we're back with another little small film. Might turn into a double feature. I don't know yet. So we're back on the 67 Chevelle Malibu today. We're trying to get it ready for car show season. And the vehicle owner really wants to have a new radio put in it. So I was doing some investigation the other day, and I actually dropped the radio out just to look at it. And yeah, it needs to be updated. And I'll show you what we're going to have put in there. I think it'll be interesting to see. We're going to do a retro sound radio for this vehicle, so it looks really like it's supposed to belong there. But what we pulled out was this old Majestic radio. Let me turn you around. What we pulled out was this old pile of interesting stuff. Even got a cassette player on it, but it's shot. It doesn't work anymore, and they tried to tear it apart and move things around. And so we're just going to start over. And so stick with us as we get into this. I already have it out, so what we need to do is locate which wire goes to which speaker, because they're not labeled and they're just kind of going all over the place. We'll need to add a switched ground on it, so make sure that the radio turns off when the car turns off, so we don't accidentally leave it on and drain the battery. And so we're gonna get that going on here. Let me just poke in here real quick and just show you what we're looking at in here. So this is where the radio is going. We have a nice new bezel that'll go into this area too to match the rest of the dash. But I got the heater control out too. I broke the handle on it, so I've got some parts to figure out how to put that on. So that'll be an interesting learning experience for the channel to do that. But what we got to figure out is, you know, what is all this stuff here. So I'll get some things cleaned up, some tools, and we'll get moving on this project. Alright, so let me show you what we have here. So this is retro sound. It's called Motor 2 is what the unit is that I got. And it comes in a pretty nice box here. Comes with a nice set of instructions. This is really all the unit looks like here. You do have to put it together. You've got little levers that would go on the side with the knobs. And we'll figured out when we're ready to put that in. It comes with, you can build the radio on their site to meet what you want it to look like. And so this would be the front part that would bolt onto the front and clip into there. And it's got a little decal that would go across this, so it shows, looks like an old radio actually when you put it in. So it's kind of a pretty neat item. You can also pick out different custom knobs that you want it to have on there. So we picked out custom knobs to make it look more of what the, well, sorry about that, you all right? And then we have a new chrome bezel. Now the factory one that was in there is different. You have to, it doesn't work with this system. The reason why it comes with the new one is this doesn't fit in there. So you've got to have their setup that would go in with the face. So we'll get all this put together and get it figured out, and then we'll be ready to get it put in. But we do got to fix the HVAC setup before we do that, just so I have some more room in there. So we'll be back. Probably won't be able to get to it today, but we'll definitely get to it here the next day, and we'll get it back on and show you the rest of the journey. All right, so as you can see here, we have these are the speaker wires. This is the heater control wires. Let's just get that out of the way. So we're going to just try to see what we can do to clean this mess up underneath here. Again, when you're working on old cars, you know, people have been here before. We don't really know what all this nonsense really is. I know that this is a constant 12 volt, but I'm not sure what the electrical connector thing is here, so for the time being, I think we're just going to delete on this for now, and then we'll see what we can do with it later. I might change that fuse out. I think I have some fusible links, so we'll pull this fuse out. I'm sure this is good, and we'll clean this up and just get that out of the way. But you know, we have a lot of these wires here. Really don't know what they're all for. Obviously they're speaker wires, so I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to use my an old 12 volt drill battery, and I'm going to ping them so I can listen to see which speakers that they go to, and then I will label them. And I mean, there are some labels on here: left, rear, positive, but it looks like all the negatives are going to one source, so we don't really want to do that. So I'm going to get some tape out here, and I just got some blue tape. I'm just going to label some stuff on here. So I just labeled some tape that says left LF, LR, RF, RR, and we'll see what they are. This one here, according to this sticker, says it's a left rear, so I don't know if that's true or not. We'll put a label on it, just and then we'll test it and see if it's really what it is. Looks like that other radio had one common black that was grounding out through everything as the negative for the speaker. Right rear, left rear, right front, and everything then tied into this black wire, which maybe that's how they did it then, but that's not really how we do it now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release this one that's for the negative, and I'm just going to cut it off, and then I'll know that those are the negatives. And I'm just going to remove one of these and see if it is actually the correct one. If it is, I'm going to make an assumption, and we kind of know what that means, but the rest are right. So I'm just going to take my drill battery, and I'm just going to put it on a positive here, and all I'm doing is just making it so it makes a noise. Yep, so that sounds like it is coming from that back speaker. So I'm going to assume that these are labeled correctly in here, and I am probably just going to leave this connector so I have something to wire the rest of these in on, and I will just have to do something different with the... No, I think we're probably just going to end up having to just do a hard wire on this. I feel better if it was that way, just to make sure that it's done correctly. And so I'll get the radio harness out here, and we'll just do one at a time. And then we'll just delete on this, because I have to get a key on anyhow, and find a light. That would be nice if we could get the dash lights to work with it. So we'll have to do some creative wiring and figure out the fuse box and stuff like that. So I'm going to clean this up, and we'll go get the other wiring harness and take you and show you what we got over there. And we'll get this wired up. Alright, so this retro radio, and we'll get this wired up, and I'll unbox it for you. It actually comes with a harness that you can build into the car, that it makes it easy just to plug into the radio harness itself. So with that, I mean, that's going to make our life a lot easier for this. So we'll just be able to just move right along with here. As I cut these wires, remove these wires here that are tagged, I'll just mount up these to it, and should make for a fairly easy install. So we'll just start off right here with this white right rear, and we'll just get moving on here. Even comes with a little legend. That's really nice. I like that. Yeah. So on here, right rear is purple. So that'll be great. I don't know why I'm wearing gloves. I should take these off. They're just gonna irritate me. Okay. There's one. Let's see. Left rear. And that one's not even connected to anything, so we'll have to ping that one. I'm going to assume it's probably this one here. We've got it for right front. The right rear. So that is all done, and I am going to put some zip ties around that and clean it all up. This will have to go up underneath that glove box when I'm all done. We'll get all that tightened up there, but I'm gonna get some zip ties, some electrical tape, and I'm gonna just tape all that mess up, and then we'll move on to try to find some power sources. All right, so we just went ahead and finished wiring this up, this radio. So I've got the pigtail in, I've got the harness in. You can see that there. So I've got it all hooked in, kind of a nice setup. We'll tuck all those wires back up and we'll get them nice, neat, secure up there so they don't drop down once we get the radio in and secured. And I'll take you over to the bench and kind of show you what we have to work with. The retro radio, it's a pretty nice little setup, and we'll get that put together and get it put in. All right, so it's time to start assembling this radio and getting it put together. We've got some knobs here. We've got some decals that go over the front face. We have the front face. Hardware. Some nuts. Gotta use the back strapping. As per the threats on the box, it avoids the warranty. We got some instructions to reference back to. We've already got the wiring in the car. This will tell me what nuts to put on. Get that. Gonna turn off the ceiling fan so it doesn't blow my stuff around. Okay, let's see. See if we can lower this down just a bit. Okay, so this is the main little box here. Looks like we have some wires in here. So this has a terminal on the back. Looks like we're going to plug this in here. Could feed that back in here. These are the knobs. They got little, looks like Ethernet jacks or phone jacks. Old, that would go in here. Looks like we need to do a screw. So that's not used, so okay, that goes in there. Small screws found in the orange bag. So here's the orange bag. Little tiny screws. Looks like there's 4 of them. So it slides into the frame. Like so. Get a little screwdriver. I would not tighten them down until you have them all in and started. That way if you need to move them around, you can. You can get many different faces for this radio. They have a whole gambit of colors, silver, chrome. I just thought the black would be good. We're going to change the interior in this car eventually. So now that I've got them all in there, I'm going to just go ahead and just snug them in and give them just a tickle of a turn. And then that's all it's needed. So, done. And we're going to take, I need a washer for that arm. Does not look like it. Does not look like it. So these are going to go like this onto this mount on each side. There is some adjustability to it, so if you need to go up or down, we're going to just try to start it in the middle and kind of see where that gets us. We got another box of screws here. I'm going to say it's probably these black screws since it's black and they look like it. It's nice that they put a little rubber pads on the side of this. Really helps a little bit on vibration, possible any kind of noise that you may encounter. Again, I'm just snugging these up until I get them all in and then figured out where the adjustment goes and I'll lock them down in. So the backs have a little slide so you can get these 2 backs started. Okay, I just got those snugged in there. So I can move them around a little bit. I want to make sure I can, if I need to, I can adjust them. Then we're going to work on these. Need to put a nut on the back. This is your stop. Like so. So you can figure out your depth of your knobs and how far you want it to go in. And then they want a washer. Another nut on the front, which makes sense. That's as far as I need to go with that. Get this other one. Yep, I forgot. Gotta put one on first. And then this is going to plug into this. And then I'm going to put the face shield on it, and just that's going to give me an idea of where my knob space or my spacing is going to be. And then I can lock them down. And then this can be adjusted. it'll look like that. So I'll adjust these to make it so they're in there straight, and then we'll get it put on. All right, so we went ahead and got this put in. Can't really film that, it's really hard to see, but we just, after we put it together, we just put it up in the hole, connected the wires down here, and we just got it up in there. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and clean up all these wires. I'm going to pin them up, and then I'm going to get the HVAC cables and everything hooked up and that back up into place. Then we can clean up, and then we'll be all finished. So when I get all that just screwed back up in there, I'll take you back and show you the total finished product. I did test the radio. It works pretty good. I do have a speaker over here in this hole that's not working, so I think I've got one laying around that I can substitute in there, a pair somewhere. So I'll look for that, and we'll check it out and put it in, and then try it out once we're ready.